Got a Rich Eisen right here for you. I'm gonna play for you guys. Y'all put one in the chat. About 4 minutes long. This is Rich Eisen talking about the Saints' early season schedule in 2023.
Put up the Saints schedule one more time here. Okay.
That was kind of interesting.
Well, hold on a minute. So let's just throw this out here. Their first game is against Tennessee, the new DeAndre Hopkins offense with Henry and Tannehill, and everybody thinks that Tennessee is ready to be pushed over.
Mm-hmm.
But take your heart pills and buckle up. That's the Sunday first game against the Saints. There you go. In the Superdome. Then they're at Carolina on a Monday night against the new confirmed QB1 of the Carolina Panthers as of today, Bryce Young.
Rookie QB.
At Green Bay. Okay. Jordan Love, just game 3 coming in for Jordan Love. Home for Tampa. At New England, at Houston, home for Jacksonville, at Indiana, at Indianapolis, home for the Bears, at Minnesota. Compare that to the Giants' first 6 games, 12 games, the Jets' first 6 games, 8 games.
How many wins you see there, Rich?
Again, the issue is with this, and what you will find later on when we have you play the Dallas win-loss game for the Cowboys schedule, is we're just looking at that schedule through the prism of last year.
Yeah.
And just also baking in Carolina's going to have a rookie quarterback. Put that up one more time if you don't mind. I mean, Dennis Allen and that defense, I know he's the HC, but he's a defensive-minded head coach. Look at the quarterbacks he's taken on. Tannehill to start. Rookie at Carolina, Jordan Love, de facto rookie at Green Bay, Tampa, Baker Mayfield's first month as the quarterback there, Mac Jones in his rebound from the quick game effing sucks season, and rookie Houston in CJ Stroud. There's then on a Thursday night short week, home against Trevor Lawrence. Then rookie Anthony Richardson. Then Justin Fields' second season at Minnesota. Kirk Cousins is the first vet that they're facing. First guy with 10 years of neck up pre-snap ability. At Atlanta, it's going to be Desmond Ritter's first full season. Mm-hmm. Then there's Jared Goff, another vet. Carolina, young again. Then they've got Daniel Jones at the Rams. We're assuming Stafford's healthy. You want to talk about 10-year vet neck up ability.
Yeah.
Baker and then Atlanta again. So it's not like they're facing
a murderer's row.
Well, or at least some veteran quarterbacks that can really, maybe give them trouble. Like you named all those quarterbacks out there. How do you think the Saints feel right now facing those quarterbacks?
I mean, with that defense that they had led by Cam Jordan, you got to.
How do you think Cam Jordan in particular, if I had him here, and as you know, he's human sodium pentothal. He cannot
tell a lie.
He has very little filter. How do you think he feels? Do you think he's
probably
sticking a napkin in his?
He's tying the napkin around his neck right now and sharpening up the knife.
Bam, kick it up a notch.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Especially with these rookie QBs, that's got to make his eyes just.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why maybe Garofalo is saying, "Hey, don't sleep on the Saints," and why USA Today has them winning that division at 9-8. Same record they have the Cowboys in 2023. Catch the Rich.
All right, so that's Rich Eisen, man, talking about the Saints schedule. And, we played the clip from Rich Eisen and from NFL.com reporter Mike Garofalo was throwing the Saints. He was like, word on the, drop some game on us. Who we hearing at the, about who's a sleeper in NFC South or NFC period or the NFL, and Garofalo volunteered the Saints. He said, man, Saints. And of course, the traditional disclaimer is, despite what people feel about Derek Carr or DA, which is the questions. Now, granted, the Saints do have what appears to be a very, favorable or a very agreeable schedule. This schedule is very agreeable. I'm not going to tell you any difference. Now you do open up the season. Now you heard what Rich Eisen did. He went over it. Now you do open up the season, with there we go. Now you do open up the season with Tennessee. And Tennessee just, not too long ago, they got D-Hop over there along with Tannehill, and Derrick Henry is the running back. He'll be healthy. And, the last time we seen this Tennessee club, and of course this game is going to be at home in the Dome. We went up there and we lost due to bad, they had some really bad calls. That was the game where they gave the Saints the QB hit, the penalty for hitting the quarterback, and the referee really didn't. And the referee waited to after Marcus Williams picked the ball off in the end zone before he threw the flag to negate the penalty and move Tennessee further down the field, which I covered that. And I was highly upset about that because that was a classic case of referee corruption. The guy waited until Marcus Williams caught the interception and then he threw the flag to negate it. That's case, but I've been saying this for years, is that the way you clean up the game, and there is no other sport more corrupt than boxing. Hands down, boxing is the worst. But when you talk about other corruption in sports, and granted, and if you don't realize it, if you don't know this, all American sports are it's a heavy degree of corruption, a lot of manipulation. The only way to clean up the sports is to bring light to it. The pinpoint and call out the corruption. When you see it, you call it out. And now it's an era of, see, they like to pretend like they big pretenders, like the social manipulators. They're big pretenders, like they pretend like they don't see you saying, I see you behind that curtain. Then when you start pulling your money away, they start playing them games. They big and really good at ignoring you and pretending like it's something more than other until you withdraw power. Then they give it to you. It's a bit of pull and push type of dynamic here. But that's the first time we'll see these people since then. We lost, and the Saints had an opportunity to win the Titans game. They missed 2 field goals in the game, which weirdly kept veering to the same place. And the guy missed the field goal and went to the same place that he missed the other field goal. I was like, what's the odds of that happening? And there was no win in the building. Very peculiar game. Very peculiar game. But nonetheless, this game is in the Dome, and the Saints, this is a good test of the Saints team, or whatever the defense is going to represent. I'm thinking they're a top 15 defense, and they can have the ability to go up as a top 10. I really do think they can crystallize to be a top 10 defense. The biggest weakness that they had last year is stopping the run. Now, if they can keep it together, what they had last year, and improve upon it with the run defense, then you can see them catapulting up into the 10th position, like a top 10 defense in the NFL, with the offense being a top 10, top 15 unit. That means if you got a top 10 defense, or even a top 15 defense and a top 10 offense with all the weapons the Saints have, I think top 10, if health plays a part of it and they all are healthy, I definitely will, safe to say, the Saints they're going to floor or field a top 10 defense. I mean, offense, excuse me, and a top 15. That's good enough for a playoff run. That's good enough for you to get in the playoffs. That's good enough for you to get a deep playoff run with a top 10 offense and a top 15 defense. Special teams will be much improved because the focus is on the special teams improving. So Tennessee's a good test because Derrick Henry running the football is a test for the Saints' interior defensive line. How do they adjust to that mammoth in there? And then, of course, D. Hopkins there with Tannehill. People look at Tannehill, but Tannehill still got some good football in him. Saints got to get after him. So that'll be a good little test early on. Then the second week, we talk about at Carolina, and regardless, when we go to Carolina, remember last year, the Carolina Panthers swept us. Matt Rule beat us, and then the other guy beat us at the end of the season. Remember, both games were in the hands of the Saints, and Saints basically gave those games to Carolina just like they did the Tampa Bay games. So Carolina always plays the Saints tough, but you have Bryce Young that's already been named the quarterback. He's good, but you should be able to beat that rookie. You should be able to frazzle him, show him looks, and his head's going to be on the tism, and he'll be a different looking dude, I promise you, in week 2 than when you see him in week 14. I promise you that much. He'll look a lot different in week 14 Then he looks in week 2. So by all active imagination, or even you look at it, the Saints should be able to get wins in week 1 and 2, even though week 2 is on the road at Carolina. Week 3, the Saints go to Green Bay. There is no Aaron Rodgers there, and that team is a lot less talented than what they were when Aaron Rodgers was there. Jordan Love is the dude up there now. And Jordan Love still have he got a lot of stuff he got to work on with his game. But we go into Green Bay, and even the games that they got listed here, fam, are games where it's at the right time of the year. So even when you think about the teams that you're playing against, think about what time of the year you're playing them. Green Bay, if this game was scheduled in weeks 15, 16, or even week 17, it'll be a different effect. You got Green Bay up there, the snowing, but you got Green Bay. It's going to be great weather in late September. That's beautiful. So you go up there, you got Jordan Love, show him no love, Saints put pressure on him. Realistically speaking, this could be 3-0 right here. Then the Saints come home. They got a game against the Buccaneers. It's either Baker Mayfield or Kyle Trask. The defense, they still got some good pieces on defense to get after you. Can't talk about that. Still got 2 of the best wide receivers in the game combo-wise. They still got those guys. Running game is got question marks, and the quarterback is a question mark. 2 big parts of the game that can hurt. Saints, the offensive line is getting that big cheating center that they have back, and they have some other pieces there as well, but still in all, question marks at very important positions for Tampa Bay. That's why they looked upon to being a doormat. Saints should be able to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but should be. Remember the key term I'm throwing out is should be. Should be. That's why I keep saying, because we should have beat Carolina last year and swept them. Should have beat Tampa Bay last year and swept them. Didn't do it. Different year, different team. Are those tendencies gone? We have different coaches here. Those tendencies have to be gone. We have to seize the moment. Chip on the shoulder mentality does that. Chip on the shoulder means that when a guy tell you or a gal tell you that there's a chip on the shoulder, like especially in professional sport, if there's a chip on the shoulder, that means it's an extra focus on detail. It's attention to detail exemplified. You see, that means that everything that I do, I take more of a stern and focus, or I focalize on it a lot harder, or 2 or 3 levels higher than I would before, because I'm approaching it with a high degree of seriousness, attention to detail. So you've heard chip on the shoulder from Jimmy Graham. We just played that. You heard chip on the shoulder from Derek Carr. You heard chip on the shoulder from several other players that's inside the building. I don't think I heard chip on the shoulder. I've never heard Dennis Allen said that he has a chip on the shoulder. That would be awesome if I heard him, but he doesn't say that. He doesn't talk like that. But anyway, back to the schedule. Week 5, you go up to New England once again. This is a early October game in New England. This is not a game that we'll see them in December or late December where it's snowing. So once again, even when you account for the teams the Saints are playing in terms of the status of the quarterback being a young quarterback there, or a team that's kind of trying to find their way, even to where the games are positioned in the schedule in reference to Green Bay, which is usually, if it's late in the year, it's snowing, it's weather impacts the game to a degree. But both Green Bay and New England games are out of the way. Both away games are out of the way by week number 6, and the Saints have both of those teams within the first 5 weeks of the new season. So it's perfect weather there. So it'll be Dennis Allen against Bill Belichick. So you'll have to be out coached there. Talent-wise, when you talk about who has the most talented team between Tennessee and the Saints, Saints in Carolina, Saints in Green Bay, Saints in Tampa Bay, Saints in New England. You say, well, Saints have more talent if you go down the lineup, but at the end of the day, it don't always come down to that. It comes down to who came to play that day. We see it all the time in these upsets. Week 6, Saints go to Houston, to that dome stadium out there, and play another rookie quarterback, C.J. Stroud. They got a lot of young people there, and they still got to learn. And this is a very favorable schedule for the Saints. A lot of stuff here. Even if you were to toss a couple of losses in there early on with the black and gold, you could probably say, what, a New England loss there? Bill Belichick outthinks Dennis Allen and Pete Carmichael, gets the win in week 5, you know. But you always have to account for the facts that the Saints supposed to do something, but they don't do it. They didn't show up or something happened. You see what I'm saying? You know, but realistically speaking, if it came down to that, really the Saints should be undefeated at this point. But, you know, it don't always pan out that way. Week 6 at Houston, and then the Saints come back home for the matchup against the Jacksonville Jaguars and Dougie P, who took that team to the playoffs. They have good energy. A lot of people will be paying attention to Jacksonville to figure out if Jacksonville, what they did last year, was just they caught lightning in the bottle because nobody wasn't paying attention to them, because, you know, that's a part of the game. Can you do it again? Now, Dougie Peterson's a really, you know, he's a good coach. You got a good team right there. You know, you got Trevor Lawrence, who's good, Trevor Etienne, the running back. They got a good young squad there, but Jacksonville is caught. People asking, is Jacksonville as good as what they were last year? Are they on the come up, or if that was just something that happened last year and they really just who they were prior to that? Because nobody wasn't taking them serious. Well, Jacksonville comes here to the Dome on October the 19th. It's a late game, so we'll see what's going on with that. We'll see. We got to get after them. Week 8, Saints hit the road again against the Colts. Another rookie quarterback. AR is up there, Richardson. So the Saints, man, they got Bryce Young in week 2. They got Jordan Love, who didn't really play that much with Green Bay. They got in week 4 Tampa Bay. That's either Baker Mayfield or Kyle Trask. Week 5 is Matt Jones, which is last year up and down year for him. Houston is CJ Stroud, who's the 2nd overall pick this year. The Texans picked him up, rookie. Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence, first winning season. Can he stabilize and keep doing that? Week 8 is Anthony Richardson and the Colts, another rookie quarterback. Week 9 is Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears, who made a lot of moves, and a lot of people keep pushing this, and I don't know if they buying the PR machine or not, but the Chicago Bears been stinking it up for a long time. Justin Fields is there. He's an interesting quarterback. Instead of trading him, they got him DJ Moore. They made some more moves in free agency. And really, I'm not on the Justin Fields train. He got to kind of prove and show that he can win. But at the end of the day, these are the quarterbacks. None of these quarterbacks the Saints are playing. Or could we say they top 15 quarterbacks? You know, top 15. Any of the, and then we get to the road game week 10 before the bye at Minnesota. And Minnesota is a team that was without Cook. They did get Addison, which is the backup run. They signed him back, but Cook is gone. Word on the street supposed to be going to the Patriots. Is it the Patriots? I want to say it is something like that. But Minnesota's a team. Saints, that'll be an interesting game before the bye week. That'll be in the Dome. At Minnesota. We going to their Dome to play them. So that'll be interesting as well. And then we get a bye week right there. And notice during the schedule, the Saints don't get back-to-back home games. The majority of these games is home, then it's 2 aways, home, then 2 aways, home, away, bye, away, home, away, and then home. So you really don't get the relief. They got 3 home games after the bye week as we go into week 12 against them. Then the schedule set up where we don't see Big Low and his squad until after the bye week, the week before we take on Minnesota, another team we don't like. So it'll be interesting to see how things work, and that we're not looking past Minnesota to get to Atlanta after the bye. So we get Atlanta after the bye, Desmond Ridder, all that stuff going on. So you got a more seasoned Desmond Ridder. We'll see them later on in the year. Week 13, Detroit. Got Detroit coming here, and that's the first of the 3 home games. So we'll see Jared Goff, Matt Campbell, what he did with his squad. Are they worth anything? We'll see a more experienced Bryce Young in week 14 with Carolina as they come to the Dome. We'll see Daniel Jones and the Giants. Brian DeBoer is the Giants for real. So that's like, we got questions like, is Jacksonville for real, or are they just a one-hit wonder? Is the Giants for real, or are they a one-hit wonder? So we have a couple of the one-hit wonder on the schedule, and then of course 2 road games rather against the Rams. If Stafford's healthy, that's a big question mark there. He always banged up late in the year. If Stafford's good to go, and then the Rams team is not the same Rams team that we've seen over the last several years. This is a severely more reduced Rams club. This is not the juggernaut Rams that we accustomed to seeing. They're not the same unit. So how do they look in week 16? And then week 17, the Buccaneers match up on the 31st. And then finally, the year changes over. And then we get Atlanta for the final home of the final game of the season against Atlanta in the Dome. So that'll be fun as well. So Rich Eisen makes a good point about the Saints schedule. A lot of rookies. You have you got inexperienced quarterbacks at the position, like inexperienced quarterbacks. And I would dare say, are there any, let me ask you guys this. What do you think? Are there any top 10 quarterbacks that the Saints see on this schedule? We might even push it and push it top 15. Are there any top 15 quarterbacks? Is Tannehill in your mindset a top 15 quarterback in the pros? Probably not, right? We know Baker Mayfield's not. Desmond Ritter's not yet either. Bryce Young just got here, so he's not. Justin Fields, is he top 15? What has he done to be top 15? You could, I don't know could you put Kirk Cousins in there? I don't know. I would say Kirk Cousins just outside the top 15. That's just me. Matt Jones, is he damn sure not a top 15 quarterback. Trevor Lawrence is not a top 15 quarterback. Jordan Love is not. Do you have any top 15 quarterbacks in the NFL that the Saints will play on this schedule that you can look at right now? Just using your forecasting abilities, Okay, Vibin says Jared Goff. Okay, you think Jared Goff is a top 15 quarterback. Okay. All right. Yes. So, I mean, it's crazy at the end of the day, man. But yeah, this is, you look at it and Larry's saying, man, he says over or under 11 wins. I don't even know if Jared Goff is a top 15 quarterback. I don't know, bro. I'm kind of, he's suspect to me, just like Kirk Cousins is. At some point you look at Detroit and you say, what are they going to do? But they couldn't do diddly squat with Matt Stafford, and he's better than Jared Goff. And then Stafford goes where Goff was, and then they go to the playoffs, and then he won a championship out there. So I don't know if I would say Goff is not a top 15 quarterback, Larry. I respect what you're saying. I don't think he's a top 15. I don't think the Saints have on this schedule currently, we look at it, none of these guys should be considered as top 15 quarterbacks yet. The rookies have to prove it because several of the teams we playing with are rookie quarterbacks. Anthony Richardson for the Colts, the Houston Texans with C.J. Stroud, 2 games with Bryce Young, 2 games with Desmond Ridder, who's inexperienced. Justin Fields, damn sure not a top 15 quarterback. What has he done to get top 15? I guess you could say the Rams with Matt Stafford is a top 15 quarterback if he's there for week 16. If his body holds up. Daniel Jones is not a top 15 quarterback. So I guess on the list, you could say Matt Stafford for the Rams, and even if you might want to argue Kirk Cousins would put him in there, but I would definitely probably say not so much. But all right, Saints for Life says Lawrence and Goff, Daniel Jones, all these guys had solid years. But are they top 15 quarterbacks in your opinion? Is that the case? I don't see them as top 15 quarterbacks. I know they had solid years, but it take more than 1 year for you to be saying, hey man, you gotta prove it's not a flub, or that you just struck lightning that you just was good that year, like Trevor Lawrence and the Giants. The Giants them have to prove that whatever success that they built on from last year wasn't fluky. That is actually something that they were supposed to do, and they're gonna have to try to repeat that success in 2023. Is what I'm saying. So I don't know. Top 20. Okay, I'll give you that. I would give you that. Not top 15, but I would say top 20. I'll give you that. Vibing with the Johnsons. I would do that. I would give you that. All right. So shout out